reminder, this is in honor of his wife, Elizabeth Mitchell. We do this in her honor. All the brave Bay Area filmmakers, actors, group. We don't have enough director's chairs for everybody, so get yourselves in there and play little musical chairs to enjoy. After shoot up there too. So, yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Check, check, check. Should we? Does the other mic work too? Check, check.
Check one, check two.
Work, Tony. Here we go.
Check
Hello,
one,
hello.
check two.
Check, check.
Check, check, check. Check, 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 check.
Neither room here. Down here work.
Let's see. Stand by for our production team. Stand by, stand by.
While Tony's getting that set up, can you guys give a round of applause for the Bay Area filmmakers here? And while he's still working on that, I'll just start talking about, he's been doing a lot of talking. He's been running around, as you can see right now. If you guys have a chance, if you want to find out more about BraveMaker and the film festival and having more cultural events, more artistic events, more of this film festival. You know, Tony, I've been to over 200 plus film festivals, and Tony is really making things happen. You don't see Robert Redford running around making sure that everyone's taken care of in this way at Sundance. Like, you know, he's dealing with his organization, but Tony's literally setting up his Zooms, rolling out the red carpet, rolling it up. You'll just like you see him trying to solve this right now. So, you know, he can make things happen. He has the hustle muscle better than most people. And if you want to donate to BraveMaker, that would be a beautiful thing. If you want to donate to BraveMaker, if you want to donate to Go Veronica Go. There we go. Which one is it? This one? This one? This one? Oh, they all work. Okay, so now we have it. So yeah, Tony is, you know, with BraveMaker, Go Veronica Go. If you guys want to help out with that, you should talk to him. You should look into things, to donating, volunteering, helping. That would be a great thing. And I'm sorry if I'm a little rusty. It's been 3 years since I've done anything public like this, with the period that I call hell on earth. Elizabeth died of brain cancer during the pandemic, and it was a very hard year for her and for us. And I thought, if there's I was weighing it out. Should I go sneak into Thor: Love and Thunder or attend my wife's screening at 7 p.m.? And I said, well, and Elizabeth would have been fine with me attending Thor: Love and Thunder, but she would probably much prefer me to do this. And so before I turn to the other filmmakers, I would just say, you don't need to ask me anything about my film. Ryan can speak on that. There's some lovely films here, but I would be remiss if I didn't say something about Elizabeth. You could see the effect she had on Tony and on others who knew her. And there's a quote that I think of is, those who realize the true meaning of life is when you plant seeds for trees that will grow and you will not enjoy the shade of. And Elizabeth was a seed planter, and she was one of the best nurturers on the planet. She nurtured other filmmakers, other artists, and I had the good fortune, which is why I married her, that she nurtured me. And she planted seeds that I'm just beginning to grow and see grow now too. And so one of the seeds that I realized was that she taught me, I said this before and I'll say in a short way, is she gave me 3 gifts. One was the gift of love that I hope everyone can have. The second gift was the gift of cancer, the one that none of us want. But if we do get that gift, it forces you to receive the gift of the present of the presence. And the third gift was the gift of death that none of us want, but it's going to happen. So then the gift that you have to have is to really appreciate every moment. And so I teach my team and people that I've said this to before, so you can see that I'm doing it. You have to lean into things that make you uncomfortable. You have to lean into discomfort, as Jeffrey Lieber, the keynote speaker or panelist yesterday said. And so this is me leaning into my complexity ring and being here, because what she taught me with love has blossomed to that love, to move forward in life with love. And that love has blossomed into that if you live with love in your heart, love creates more love. And so the only way to pay tribute to her is to say that story. I could talk to you for a year about her, but to say that story is the reason I'm here in this room with you is because of her. And the story of her is the story of me, and the story of me is the story of you, because we're all here for a reason, and we all have a story to tell. And Tony is also a seed planter. You can see here from the seeds he puts in others, the way he also nurtures and grows. He's the rainmaker of growing opportunities and making things happen. And if he shared in his grief with his grandmother's suicide that he realized he wanted to go to Sundance. He came to Sundance. If he didn't go to Sundance and follow his heart, we wouldn't have met. I just said Redwood City when I was at Sundance, and all of a sudden Tony pops out of the crowd and goes, "Redwood City?" And we both just became fast friends that blossomed into what this beautiful brotherhood is. If we didn't both follow our heart, that seed wouldn't have blossomed into this relationship. He wouldn't have married Elizabeth and I across the street. He wouldn't have spoken at both her funerals. And he wouldn't have jumped into breaking a bar fight with me the other night. A bar fight happened, and me and Tony ran into it, and like everyone scattered. So it's a true brother. And so what I say with that too is thinking about that, and his whole thing is you are the story. That's a story. That's a story of Elizabeth planting a seed. You have an opportunity from the films you saw to share about these films, these wonderful, talented filmmakers, to post about it. You have an opportunity to plant a seed and help BraveMaker in any way you can, or Go Veronica Go. You have the opportunity to help others with either help, mentorship, or anything that you can do. And, you know, one of our beloved friends and BraveMaker fan, well, 3 of our BraveMaker fam have been dealing with family, hospital, medical issues, and you could help them. You could give them a hug. You can offer to help. And one of the BraveMaker fam, who's been a great friend to me in my darkness, Karen Southall, lost her mother, and she has a GoFundMe. If you know Karen, you probably love Karen. And so you would go to her Instagram and pull up her GoFundMe. If you don't know Karen and you want to help her, you might even just tap me or someone on the shoulder who knows Karen, and we'll direct you to her GoFundMe. Because we all act like that death is a disease that happens to someone else, but it's coming for us all. So what's the story that you want to tell? And do you want to be a seed planter or a nurturer? So that's a story, that's a story of Elizabeth. And so I will change the mood slightly and say, if every filmmaker here if I could have every filmmaker go down here, and so we can dive into more questions. But tell us your story. Tell us who you are, what your film was about, why you love film, and why you chose to make this film, and the wares as well too. And is this a Bay Area crowd? Can I hear everyone clap if you live in the Bay Area? All right. So right there and then too, they're gonna call you on shit. Like if you say you're from Martinez or like Sacramento, they're gonna be like that ain't Bay Area. So and also Tony educated me. So we're gonna say your pronouns, but you're also gonna give a visual description for the blind and deaf. So this will be my first time doing it, and I'm a little rusty. So my name is Sean McCarthy. I'm the writer director of The Unexpected that my beloved late wife Elizabeth produced. My pronouns are he, him, his. And I am a biracial Filipino Eurasian with my man Brenton here, with a black t-shirt on, jeans, a goatee, long hair, rockin' dad bob. I'm kind of more of a grower than a shower. Wait, so do I go? How far do I go? No, too much? Oh, okay, sorry, okay. I didn't know if I'm supposed to go further. So, okay, so that's how you do it, everyone. You could choose how much you want to share. Okay, I didn't know. Sorry. All right, so Ryan, you go.
I don't know how to follow that up. I was the producer of The Unexpected with Elizabeth, and I'm new to the whole pronouns thing, but my pronouns are he, his, him, and the reason why I love film is because it allows you to dream and create and take your imagination from your mind and show it to other people so that other people can experience kind of what your dreams and what you aspire to want to do in your life as well. So, and I just want to say that working on The Unexpected with Elizabeth was just one of the best experiences that I've ever had on a film set. I was going through a breakup at the time, and she really helped me, and I felt so close to her, and we worked. How long did we shoot that, Sean? Was that 3 days?
3 days, yeah.
I mean, we worked tirelessly and had the minimal crew, and she was always so positive and friendly, and everybody just wanted to be her friend and to be around her. And it's really unfair that she's not here and that I'm sitting in the seat. So I just wanted to say that.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan. My name is Brenton Gieser. I made Gabriel, which was the film that came right after The Unexpected. First of all, I just want to say this is special to be a small part of Elizabeth's legacy with this screening event today in this festival. So thank you, Sean, for sharing her story. And years ago, I read up a bit about her, and she just seemed like such a bright light in the world. And so it's really an honor to get to know her a little bit better today. I made Gabriel. I'm from Half Moon Bay, California, live in San Jose, so I think it's undisputably the Bay Area.
Is he Bay Area? Okay. Pass the test.
I'm almost Morgan Hills, so I don't know.
Ooh.
That's borderline,
Yeah.
All right, so that's my Bay Area affiliation. My name is Brenton. I'm half Korean, half Caucasian. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And we're doing the whole descriptors, right?
Yeah.
Not as far as you, but
Yeah, well, I
just a
didn't know
little-
the line.
No,
I
I'm
guess
gonna
I found
stop
it.
it quick. I'm in a black hat. I got a white shirt on, and I got black jeans on as well. And I guess I'll answer one of your questions because I don't want to answer too many. But I guess why I love film, I got into it pretty late. I'm 37 right now, and I got into it probably about 5 years ago when I made my first short documentary. And I found out pretty quickly that if the pursuit of, let me see how I want to actually say this. I think that film specifically has this potency and this ability to build bridges in a way that most art forms really can't. And you could do that through building teams and connecting people on the crew side, from a talent perspective, from anybody who's part of creating a film, but even more so when it comes from an audience perspective, and telling stories from telling stories of disparate groups where you could bring them together, we could form better understanding of one another. That's kind of been my goal as a filmmaker. And so that's partially kind of the ethos and what I love about film. And I also love just experiencing it. It's been really fun today to just watch all these films and experience the talent of the Bay. So I appreciate being here. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shruti Tiwari, the writer-director of the film Mum, and I am Indian American, about 5 feet 5 inches tall, wearing a pink shirt, blue jeans, and a blue scarf, and I have dark brown hair. I do want to ask you if there was a drone shot in your film over the rope, but I made my film because I am from the Bay Area. In fact, this is home ground. I've been bringing my kids to this theater since they were very little. They're all adults now, and I'm from San Mateo County. I lived through the time period of the cluster suicides that took place in Palo Alto, and I had high school kids then. And my biggest motivation to write this film was to have experienced the speechlessness that I felt after each notification of someone we knew who was no longer there, trying to explain that to my kids. And not just mine, all the kids in various high schools, there was literally a pall of gloom over them. And to try to bring them out of that stupor was quite a challenge. And as a mom, I knew that I had no words, but I could only show them my empathy and compassion just by being there with them. And that gave me the thought of presenting this from a mother's perspective. And perhaps in that one moment, all the research I did showed that in that moment of indecision, if there is some humanity shown to people, they are willing to pull back from whatever decision they are choosing to make. And that's the moment that I wanted to highlight in this film. It was a tough decision as a writer for me not to put any words in the film, but I feel that that was a challenge for me as a newbie director. This was my second short, and I feel that there is potency in here, and there is room for understanding and compassion, especially among strangers. And I hope that message came across. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Roshni, pronounced she, her. I'm Indian from India. And I'm wearing a red dress top to bottom, and I swear it's not the dress that that was sold on Get Free. It's not that one. But I did want to spend a little more time on Elizabeth, even though I didn't know her personally. I have had an Elizabeth in my life who's who has touched my life in a way that she had touched so many of yours, and that that phrase that you said about, sowing the seed and letting other people many years down the line enjoy, the tree and the tree's shade and the tree's fruits. There are people like that. And I truly feel that it's because in a highly divided world like ours, the few people like that who exist is the reason the world is still moving on, moving forward. And I think it's very lightly balanced. And the day the other half will be more, which is more of the people who are not like Elizabeth, I think that'll be our doomsday. So that's really what I wanted to say about her. And,
Thank you
yeah,
for saying that.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
Cool. And I was part of the film, Respectable Man. I will, I will let Surinder, our respectable director, talk more about it. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. The reason why I did that film was because when Surinder shared the story, the part where, both of the characters talk about how they don't really fit in, that resonated with me because I do wear a lot of clothes like that, like I wear in the film. And every time I order an Uber or a Lyft, I feel a little uncomfortable. And I really feel sometimes like, people might think that I'm like a joker. But I still wear that record button and go. In the Bay Area, nothing bad has happened to me so far. So far, so good. But I let my colleagues talk more about the film. Thanks.
Just a heads up, he wrote that joke. I just first want to say, pay my respects to Elizabeth because every interaction I had with her was always sweet, but it was also a moment for me to learn because she always had something to teach, even if it was just in a casual conversation. And a fond memory that I do have of her and of you when we were at Creative Crew, and I was just doing an online show, like just getting into that space, and it was a little show called The Curious Dork. And so I remember getting Sean and Elizabeth, and I was like, could you guys say, tune in to The Curious Dork next week? And I gave them the words to say, and then the moment I'm like, action, it went everywhere. But this film that I did with Surinder, I've been knowing Surinder since 2015. We worked on a project when I was about I think I was about 18, maybe 17. But he hit me up and he goes, hey, would you like to be a part of this film? And I'm like, okay, well, what's the film about? And so he gives me the script, and I go through the script because, to figure out what the character is about. And come to find out, this character is very identical to my life because the character not only portrays a homeless person, but someone, who's an actor in a sense. And in my life and in my personal life, I did face homelessness as a teenager. And even as someone growing into the man that I am today, I still face those kind of struggles, though not as harsh as my character in that sense. And I am someone who likes to see acting and film as a way of leaving a legacy for, my children or, generations to come, because film is it's not just an art form, and it's not just, something to just to do it. It has a message that lasts and surpasses you even after you're gone, and it has something to teach the next generation even after you're gone. So I see acting and I see this art form as a way of communicating who I was, or or the way I see the world when I was here. So I look at acting in the film industry as a way of just leaving a legacy and leaving some teachings through acting and just through the passion. So I also want to say thanks, Surinder, for bringing me on, and you are the true respectable man.
You did awesome. Thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Surinder Singh. I'm an Indian, and I'm a software engineer by profession. And that is only Monday to Friday, though. On Saturday and Sunday, I make films. Why it is 5 versus 2 days? Because my short films don't make money yet to pay for the mortgage. So I have to be a software engineer too. But I directed the film and co-authored Respectable Man. why I made this film is, I mean, this takes me back to a conversation when I was having with a friend, an Indian woman, during the Black Lives Matter movement that we all saw last year. And she just casually, in a very light way, made a statement. She said that, hey, when I see a black man walking towards me, I change my direction. And when I asked her why, she just casually said, I don't know, it just makes me uncomfortable. And that's the moment when I decided to, make a film where I will have an Indian woman sit on a bench with a African-American man and just, talk about each other's cultural backgrounds and basically prove to the world that, hey, don't judge a book by its cover, basically, right? And I didn't want to make it a very preachy film, so that's why I added a lot of jokes and everything. I wanted to, prove my point in a very light way, basically. I mean, society tries to train all of us to, not to judge others by physical traits, but still we can't help and be influenced by, hair color, skin color, physical traits, how people appear physically, right? So that's why. So this film basically, my only objective was to, have an Indian. And by the way, I never saw an Indian woman and an African American man together on screen. So this was also, I thought it would be cool to, put them together in the same frame. Yeah. So yeah, that's all. And thank you very much, BraveMaker, for giving the opportunity for us to come here and speak about it.
Great, thank you.
Switch the four of you into director's chairs so we can see you in the light, please.
Yeah.
I already spoke.
Hi, everybody. My name is Edward Young Lee. I'm a filmmaker and advocate based in South San Francisco. Directed the film Dirty Laundry. First, wanted to really thank the BraveMaker family and team for this opportunity to share a film. Just the community that you have here is so special, and there's never been a film festival experience like this before. So thank you for that. And also, just want to commend my fellow filmmakers for this beautiful work that you've all presented. For me, this film, Dirty Laundry, it's inspired by a true story based in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco, which is a 1 mile by 1 mile district in the inner city, which is filled with beautiful stories of hope and joy in the midst of the darkness that exists within this district. And so we wanted to really show this film to commemorate these stories. It's based on a story of a real couple who, in the midst of the brokenness of their own marriage, who in the midst of a suicide attempt, in the midst of a separation of their own relationship, were able to find the strength to create a nonprofit organization that provides meals, laundry services, after-school programs, books for the kids in the inner city. And so we wanted to showcase this film to help raise awareness and funds for an organization called Mobilize Love. And for me as a filmmaker, this was special because I believe that films are powerful when they're able to touch the soul. And I believe that every single one of the films we watched tonight did that in such a powerful way. And I believe that when we can do that, and we can do it in a way that will really touch you in a deeper way, it really impacts your life. And I believe that you come away as a different person, as someone that believes in a renewed sense of hope and joy, even in the midst of darkness. And that's my hope that you will take away from this film. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ray DeMesa. My pronouns are he, they. Sorry, it's really weird to hear my voice echoing. So thank you, BraveMaker Film Fest, for programming my film. I wrote and directed get free. And yeah, the story was inspired by, sorry, I'm a little nervous. The story was inspired by my my own experience when I first moved to the Bay Area from Los Angeles last year, and learning about all the free stuff that people are willing to give away, and meeting all these really generous strangers, and reflecting on these fleeting encounters that I had with them, and thinking about how there's just a potential for a deeper connection with people that you encounter every day, but we kind of naturally shut that door for that potential for connection. And so I was kind of like reflecting on that idea of what would happen if you kind of paused and gave someone a chance to kind of enter your life briefly, and what kind of story or what would you find out about them. So this is kind of like my creating like my imagination of something wild that might have happened. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pegasus. I'm an Egyptian immigrant. I came here in 2011 just to seek better opportunities in the US. So I'm one of the actors of the Laughing Woo. The film was made by Amir Yusuf. He's the director and filmmaker, and unfortunately he wasn't able to join us today. But I'm here on behalf of the whole Laughing Woo team. Amir basically started thinking about the idea of this film right when the pandemic started. Then he contacted me, and we started to talk more about what he wanted to include in the film. And basically, the one thing that we wanted to really present as a message is the struggles, or the common struggles that many people face when they come to the US from another country, and it's just everything new. There is always this homesick feeling that we constantly feel, no matter how time goes on. But basically, the plot of the film was in a dark comedy plot. We had an really amazing team working together to get this done. I personally, it was my first time on screen, so I had all those mixed feelings: excited, nervous, happy, just a mix of feelings. And once we started to work on it, it's just I felt that acting is a way to set ourselves free, and just truly enjoy the moment and release the feelings that we truly feel at this moment. I wanted to thank every one of you for being here, and I want to thank BraveMaker Festival for giving us the opportunity to represent our films today. And yeah, I think that was it. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey everyone, my name's, yeah, that echoes weird. My name's Devin. I'm the director of The Jump. Thank you. He, him, his 6 foot Caucasian male black shirt button up, black pants button up. Yeah, so the jump was started.
What's the Bay Area cred?
Oh, San Jose. I'm Bay Area. Don't worry.
Bay Area, San
Born and
Jose.
raised,
Sign off.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. There's enough of them. San Jose. All right, go for it.
Yeah, so the project got started about 2 years into the pandemic when the restrictions were kind of being uplifted a little bit. I was finishing a project in San Diego, and 2 luchadors walked up to me, the same ones in the film, and asked if I wanted to see a show, and it was the best fun I had my whole life. For the next week, my voice was gone. I made friends with everyone that was there, and I just kind of wanted to document that experience that I think most of the public doesn't really know about. When you think of wrestling, you think WWE, big budget stuff, but there's a lot of fun, entertainment, production value at these small underground events, and I kind of wanted to capture that energy with the project, and also create a fun experience for the audience members. I love film, though, because I think it's the most expressive medium for experiences. I think unlike any other art form, you're put in this world that's created by artists, and you get to live these experiences that are normally just had by people in the moment. And so it documents experiences for future generations, and I think it's a pretty cool thing. And thank you to BraveMaker for putting on this festival and giving a spotlight to local filmmakers. I think we need more of that in the Bay Area. There's so many talented people here, so it's great that we have a venue to show.
That's great. Where did you shoot your film?
San Diego. It was shot in San Diego.
Okay. Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience? Anybody? If you want to raise your hand. Anybody? Because I can ask questions all day. I just want to make sure. Does anybody have any questions for any specific films?
He did survive.
The
yes.
question was, in the jump, did he survive?
Yes, he did survive. Yeah. Thank you for asking. I'll tell him you're concerned.
Anyone else? Go for it.
Yeah, I have a question to Edward Lee. So, how much of the story was fictional and how much was real? Because I think the actors who played it, were they a real life couple?
Good question. Yes, they are. They're a real life couple, and we actually casted the actress first, and we started the process of casting the actor, but one of the requests of the actress was that she would only kiss someone if it was her own husband. So we ended up casting her husband as the husband in the film. He's never acted before, and I think this was kind of his first foray into the acting world, and I think he did a great job with that. But the film itself is loosely based on a true story, but it's a compilation of a lot of different stories, including my own personal story that I've interwoven into the film.
Oh, great. Anybody else? Well, I have some questions, and this is just more, you can raise your hand and let us know if you want to speak on it, if this resonates with you. Do any of the filmmakers, and you guys can come back into the light a little bit more, we can always play musical chairs here. Do anyone have stories of how they were transformed by their experience? I don't have COVID, guys. You guys can come in here. We can. Does anybody have any stories, anyone that you were transformed or you grew? You know, like there's a great book called The Obstacle is the Way that I love that saying. It's like, it's about that life. You can choose the promise you want to have. Anything in life, you're still going to have problems, but the obstacle is always the way. How do you move forward? So I can tell you from making The Unexpected and many other projects, you know, you guys know as filmmakers, there's so many hurdles that you have to jump through and so many problems you have to solve. Does anyone have any stories of transformation for themselves? How they grew from this specific project?
So, unfortunately, my DP just left, and he was here, and I wanted to address that he had the challenge of shooting with low light, and that was something that we had not accounted for. We just assumed that we would have enough light. I anyway wanted to keep it low. I'm talking about the film Mom, and so that was a huge challenge, and then you realize that you need to budget for all that in pre-production and set it out, and you need to have, even though I'd scoped out the location before, the wind situation can change drastically, and I was really counting on wind, and there was no wind the 6 hours that we shot. So all those elements that you want to plan for, then you say that you should then have a fan if you want the visual effect of a. So in terms of transformation, I am in the process of shooting my third one, and I spent a good chunk of 6 months in pre-production. So going in, the preparation was a lot more thorough.
I have a quick one I can share. So when we were shooting The Respectable
Into the light.
Man.
Come on into the light. There you go.
All right.
Do-si-do, swinging it around, into the light. There we go.
When we were shooting Respectable Man, on day one, like we had already identified a location. It was supposed to be shot in a park in Santa Clara, Central Library Park. So we already knew it's a great location. We had been there before for the location scouting. On the day of the shoot, when we went there, there's a huge fair going on. And then a friend shows up out of nowhere.
So you said there was a huge fair?
So after we went there, we
Yeah.
tried to shoot, but then there's a loud music, there's a party going on.
So you're saying you had no sound issues whatsoever?
So, I mean, yeah. So then a friend showed up out of nowhere, and she said, "Let's go to a different park." So she helped her like move all the equipment and everything. We start shooting in the new park on the same day, and then after about 2 hours of shoot, 2-3 families come right behind the bench, and they start barbecuing. I'm like, okay, what can we do now? So we stopped the shooting right there, and the next day, the next following weekend, because we shot only on the weekends, right? So the following weekend, we decided, okay, and we had to like come in the evening to capture the golden hour for the sunlight, because that's when we shot the rest of the film, which was already shot. So the moment we reached there, there's a huge company party going on in the same park. So we had to kind of, shoot this film in like bits and pieces, just because of it's a public place. You can't do much about it.
And how would you apply that going forward with that learned experience? How would you apply that to your next film?
Try to find a location that is static.
There you go. Anybody else have any stories of growth or personal transformation from facing the obstacles of their film?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say that we also shot Douchaholics that over those 3 days too.
Oh, we
right?
did. I forgot about that.
So
yeah. We shot our comedy series. I threw on shooting part of our comedy series on top of shooting that epic short film with complex setups, and
it was
yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was honestly a work of art. Like we were totally off schedule for the unexpected. I think we were like 6 hours over or something. And where was Douchaholics? I don't remember where
we were
we
getting
were shooting
pieces
that.
in the park at the same time. Yeah.
At the park.
Yeah.
Because it was just the pickups that third day. So yeah, then I think we wrapped around 1 in the morning or so, and then we had the Douchaholics shoot at 8 in the morning. And I mean, if you're a filmmaker, the people that we worked with on both those shoots did whatever needed to be done, and we couldn't have done it without them. I mean, it was just incredible. It was like 5-hour turnaround. They're there, like breakfast was there, and we were up and ready to go at 8 a.m. And I mean, it was exhausting.
And how do you feel you grew from that? How do you apply that moving forward in your life?
After those 3 days, I felt like Superman. I was literally, I mean, just mentally having to process everything with all the obstacles we had. I mean, we had generators in a park in Almaden Valley with giant fans and fake snow and monsters that needed to be created. And the makeup person was late. I remember somebody was a vegetarian and ate like pepperoni pizza for the first time.
Yeah, I felt really bad about that.
Like, I mean, But where else can you like have these kind of experiences and
Now we're going to get
stories?
no vegetarians or vegans on Guerrilla Wanderer shoots now.
But I mean, that really pushed us, and everybody came together, and it was a real feeling of accomplishment at the end of those 3 days, and we all grew closer. And you know, I remember Elizabeth was there, and she was making jokes with everybody and talking about how miserable it was, and you know, but at the same time, she would kid with you and tell you how much she loved you and appreciated you, and you felt it, and it really meant like so much to all of us. So
That's lovely, Ryan. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else have any stories of growth? Anyone have any funny scenarios that happened? Did the woo-woo, did that not have any funny scenarios? Because I'll tell you, I was joking with Tony that there's so many great films and panels, and you know, there was a beautiful panel from a sponsee that Ball is Ball, a beautiful film by Kayla, and you know, she was taking back her power. It's about assault, and we had 4 survivors on the panel sharing. It was a very moving panel. And then later on, there was a movie about death and suicide, and there were grief support groups, and today, you know, there's films with different themes, and it's important to explore the dark to really appreciate the light, right? But when you also, that's the beauty, is like, that's the beauty of comedy, is like, sometimes you just need the woo-woo. You need that woo-woo to bring you back, man. So was there anything funny that actually happened in the making of that?
So there is one thing actually. One of the scenes was filmed in Haight-Ashbury. This is just, you know, beautiful, colorful, you know, street in San Francisco. And while we were performing, I was just walking, and in the beginning I thought, okay, like, what would like everyone think that like I'm just going around running and just laughing, and it was so in the beginning I thought, you know, I hope they don't think I'm crazy. But you know, the good thing is, while I was performing, basically I felt that, you know, the whole crowd, people walking in the street, they were all part of the laughter itself. I felt that, you know, that Haight-Ashbury has great vibes that would make just everyone, you know, be in the same chilly, funny, you know, laughing mood. So yeah, that was basically, you know, one of the things that I was kind of, okay, like, I hope I don't look crazy, but, you know, in the same time I said, you know, what's gonna happen? So, and it turned out good. So yeah, that's
Great.
what I had.
Great. Do we have any final questions? All right, all the way in the back, we'll do these last 2. So, up in the back?
I'm familiar with lots of theaters. You know, there's so many fabulous theaters in the Bay Area. And then you think of filming in like Vancouver or Los Angeles. The idea that there's like a whole Bay Area film scene is fascinating. But like, how do you guys find each other? Where's the there?
Oh, they're here right now. I'm like, hey, guys. So the question is,
If you're not in this space or this industry, like, you don't understand in the Bay Area that there's a film industry and that you guys all meet each other. And like, is there a place or is it just virtual? I mean, I don't understand.
I've heard there's a place where you can meet other Bay Area filmmakers. It would be the BraveMaker Film Festival would be one of them. And that's why it's important to support like a festival like this. Tony, that's why I say, is like, he's not just a seed planter, he's a nurturer, he's a rainmaker, and you create opportunities for others. And so there's Tony, you know, there's Chris down at Stage 1 in downtown San Jose, there's the Bay Area Film Mixer Group, there's social media, right? There's so many ways to do it, but you have to be proactive in doing it. And one of the biggest things is to actually immersing yourself in the culture and the world, and really leaning into, hey, like, where's my tribe at, right? Like here, I've just met but with the exception of Ryan, like this is my tribe right here, right? We're all part of this group, and it's a shared thing that will go on and on, but you need people like Tony. You need people, and you need to be active yourself about finding people. And the other question?
Yeah, more of a request for Devin. I worked with him on the documentary, and I'd love him to share sort of the conditions that he lived in while making this film.
Ooh, I like the inflection in your voice when you say this. So you want Devin to talk about the environment where he lived in during the making of his film.
Thank you for that, Nico. Appreciate you. Yeah, so this was, I said, 2 years after the pandemic started, so I was pretty broke. And I spent everything I had on the equipment and gas money and getting down to San Diego, so I didn't have any money left. So I was sleeping on the wrestling ring that you saw in the film, like overnight. So they would practice, they would rehearse, they would leave, and then I brought someone from San Jose too who was miserable the whole time, and me and him just threw a blanket on and just took a nap on the wrestling ring. So it was pretty rough. Pretty much every human liquid was on that, and yeah, it wasn't fun, but we got the project done, so it was worth it.
And so how'd you grow from this experience, and how would you apply that going forward?
Yeah.
Would you find better accommodations?
Yeah, I think I'm going to save a little bit more money and go on like Motel 6 or something. But yeah, no, and it grew me. I think I can handle a lot tougher situations now. So yeah, it's good.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Can everyone give it up for all the Bay Area filmmakers? Let them hear it.
So you're the original carrier of COVID.
So to wrap this up, too, you know, there's a closing night party, and there's going to be, you know, people having a good time. We want you to have a good time. There's a line in one of the films, in your film, about a man. There was something attractive about a man's passion, and it's what they do publicly and also privately. Please give a big, big round of applause for Tony Gapastone, because he has demonstrated that again and again. I can tell you publicly and privately, this doesn't exist without him.
Thanks, my friend. Again, a reminder, this is for Elizabeth Mitchell. We love you, Elizabeth. We give this an honor to you. Come party with us. Come follow us on social media if you're not, and reserve the weekend after 4th of July 2023 for the next BraveMaker Film Festival. Woo! All right, let's make some movies, y'all. You meet people. Actors, raise your hand. Directors, writers, let me see your hands in the air. Editors, you all can be making movies together. There are no freaking excuses. Go do it. We'll see you at the Courtyard Marriott. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Strathies.